Yeah, I'll go ahead and start introducing the speakers. So, hi, my name is Cheskino. Think of the games Chess and Keno. I lead product marketing at Concord. I'm here today with Blake and Zach and Zainab. And I'll let them introduce themselves briefly, but we're basically all very excited to talk to you about AI Copilot, what it is, why we built it, how it works, and the exciting things you can do with it. So, I'll just go from left to right on my screen. Blake, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Blake Youngdahl. I'm a senior customer success manager here with Concord. So I support probably a lot of you in here. If we have never met before, I would love to. So please reach out to me. Blake.youngdahl at concord.app. You can just use my name, or I'll even put it in the chat. But I love supporting you guys. Our other CS team and support team also love supporting you guys. So definitely do not hesitate to reach out to us at our names and email addresses, or just support at concord.app. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, thank you, Blake. And Zach?
Yeah, good to see everyone. I see lots of familiar names. Zach Kinsey, I work in the sales team here at Concord. Been with Concord about 9.5 years now, since basically the beginning. So it's super exciting for me to see where our product is at today and where we're headed. That's why I still work at Concord, because I love our platform and love the people that we get to work with. So good to see everyone. I'm excited to demo this to you today.
Fantastic. And Zainab, can you say hi?
Well, yeah, of course. Hi, everyone. So I'm Zainab. I'm product manager at Concord. I might have some user interviews with some of you. I am here because I worked on on this project from the beginning, and I'm very excited that we are going to demo it and show it for you. So don't hesitate to give us your feedback and ask your questions.
Oops, fantastic. Thank you. All right. So with that said, I think I'll go ahead and jump into it. So here to talk about Copilot. Here's the agenda for the day. We're going to go briefly into what it is, where you find it, how you use it, how we're seeing people already using it today, who is it for. Zach is going to jump in and give us a live demo so you can see it in action. And then we'll give you a little preview of what's coming up next. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. And as we said before, if you have any questions along the way, don't hesitate. Please drop them in the chat. We're all here to give you the answers you're looking for. So actually, I'll back up a little bit before I show you that slide. So what did we build and why? So in a nutshell, contract review is a pain. Getting to answers about what's in your contracts typically requires a ton of scrolling. You have to keep hitting Control and F, keep hitting Command and F if you're on a Mac. You have to remember exactly the right word that you're looking for in this specific document. How is this clause labeled? How is it phrased in this agreement as opposed to that agreement? And when you do find what you're looking for, you have to parse through a lot of dense legalese just to get answers. And especially when clauses are broken out into, five different parts, or part of the answer you're looking for is hidden in the defined terms for the contract. It just takes a lot of time, a lot of searching, a lot of back and forth to get to an answer. So basically, AI Copilot takes that pain out of getting answers about what's in your contracts. You don't need to go digging through all those different parts of the document to find the answer. You don't need to keep scrolling back and forth, keep hitting Control and F. Especially when the information you're looking for is split between a bunch of different parts of the document, you can actually get it summarized all at once, nice and concisely, very clearly. So you can just get really concise, clear, neat answers about what's in your contract. So you can get straight to the point. And on top of that, you don't need a law degree in order to understand those answers. So instead of, again, just looking at the clause text itself, a lot of legalese, a lot of jargon, you can just get a nice plain language answer about what's going on with your business agreements. And so in short, Copilot basically solves the I just want to know fill in the blank question. I just want to know when we have to pay this vendor's invoices. I just want to know how to cancel this contract, right? So it's all about making it easier to get straight to the information you need about what's in your business agreements so you can act on them right away. So with that said, let's move on to where you find it in the app. So it's all about easy access to information. You can actually see this is a real screenshot of what it looks like. Zach, actually, I'll go ahead and ask you a little bit, guide us. When you're in the Concord app, where do you find Copilot? How do you access it?
Yeah, so currently it's available in our document view. So when you're in a document view, whether you're creating, negotiating, or signing, you're in that doc view in Concord, or after you've uploaded the document into the system, and I'll show you this in just a minute, it's going to be available right there. So in that document view, you've got your side panel to the right, right above the summary sheet circle that we have with the eye in it, you're going to have those 3 stars. That is how you access Copilot. So you click on those stars and they'll pop open. For people that do have AI enabled on your plan, you already have access to this, and you will probably see that pop open as you come into the document view. We're doing that on default for certain views in the system, but yeah, that's where it's located.
Fantastic, thank you. And yeah, so let's look at how are people actually using Copilot today so far. We just launched it, but we're already seeing some good usage. So what are they doing with it? And sorry, Zach, you're on.
Oh, I was like, are you asking me or is it ever? Yeah, absolutely. So right now there's a lot of things you can do with that. I mean, for those of you that are probably already using ChatGPT or Gemini outside of Concord, it's a lot of the same stuff, and you can now just do that directly inside of the application. Blake, you actually just had a personal experience with your wife with using it. Why don't you just tell us that experience? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great. So she's a contractor. She does creative and social media work, and so she actually had she was working in basically a contractor contract, I guess, for lack of a better word. And she was curious about sort of the intellectual property, right? Since she's doing this creative work, she was curious about it, and so she actually asked the AI, "Hey, what does the contract say about the intellectual property?" She learned that she doesn't have to share it, that right, that she owns it. So it was a really great opportunity, a real life example for us and kind of sort of her business to learn, sort of what she owns. So it was a great way to use the tool in our real life, personal use.
Yeah. I'll say on top of that, and that's a great story, that's exactly how I think people will be using this on a daily basis. And the cool thing about it, like Cheskino said earlier, you don't have to be a lawyer to use this. Like anybody could come in and prompt this like you can do with any AI. Obviously, ultimately, we recommend, taking your lawyer's advice on this. And if you are a lawyer, of course, we respect you and would ask that that goes through you ultimately in the end. But the cool thing about it is you can upload that initial contract. So let's say third party sends you their agreement, you upload it, you want to do that initial assessment. I mean, the AI will do that in a matter of seconds. It's going to tell you, hey, what are the risks of this agreement? What's the indemnity? What's this? What's that? And so you kind of get that initial pass with it. And then also for contracts that have already been signed, we probably have all been in the situation where it's like, uh-oh, somebody signed a contract, it's already done, and now we're uploading that into Concord. Maybe we didn't get a chance to review it. You can also use the AI to give you a quick assessment of what happened in that document. Although it's already signed, you probably want to be on top of what's been agreed to. So those are the types of things you can do with it. I'm going to show you a bunch of prompts on the demo, a bunch of stuff that, kind of real world examples, but yeah, that's how people are using it.
Fantastic. And one more thing before we jump into the demo portion, who can use Copilot?
Yeah, so right now Copilot is available for anybody that has an AI plan on Concord. We've had a lot of customers already move over to these AI plans. We've taken the past year to start migrating customers over. If you have not migrated yet, if you're on a plan that does not have that AI enabled, please reach out to me directly. You can also reach out to Blake or Vanessa, who's another CSM here, or Casey, and we're happy to help you and assist you. But my email is there in the chat. If you don't have that in your plan for whatever reason, please reach out and we can help you get upgraded to that plan. We do have a few questions in the chat. Do we want to take those as they come in?
Yeah, so we do have some built-in time for Q&A. I'm happy to answer some questions now if we'd like, or we can just jump into the demo and then circle back to the questions after.
I think
Oh,
for these
yeah.
questions that we're seeing, why don't we save them for the Q&A, and I'll make sure that I make note of them and we'll get back to them.
Fantastic. So I will go ahead and stop sharing my screen, and Zach, I'm going to cede the floor to you.
Let's get right to it. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, cool. So I'm going to show you a couple different use cases with the Copilot. So I'm in Concord, my inbox right now. Hopefully you all know what this looks like. If you don't, happy to give you a demo of the system and get you access. I'm just going to jump into a document here. In this case, I was going to jump into one. Well, I was using this one earlier, so I'll just keep this one. So with that Copilot, we do have a few prompts that you can start with. So that's going to be found up here at the top. And as you can see, it will pop open, as soon as you come into the document view. So first of all, I've just got this contract here. I don't know what's in this contract. I didn't take the time to read it. Let's just go ahead and ask the AI to give us a few responses here. So what are the risks associated with this agreement? This is one of our standard prompts that we have in the system. So this is going to then do a quick review of the document. And one thing to mention, this is a PDF. So this contract was uploaded as a PDF into the system. So the way that this is working is we have the OCR run first to convert that to the text format, and then the AI is going to use that OCR version to actually do the extraction. So that's how it's working on the back end. So as you can see here, it highlighted a few risks within the contract, and kind of gives us some things to think about. Let's now ask it to summarize the payment structure and obligations. So it's going to pull back a response for us. So in this case, we've got some fees here, the expenses, and the payment term. As you can see, it's quite snappy. It's pretty quick. It's going to come back with a nice response. I do have some really common other prompts that I was testing earlier that I think are kind of useful. So for this one, I'm going to ask it, is this indemnity clause standard or overly broad? Let's go ahead and see what that response looks like. And if I wanted to, I could ask it to, write some new language for me, or tell me something that I could, have as an alternative language. So there's a lot of things I could do with that in the system. Let's also ask it if there's any penalties for like early termination or termination in general. So as you can see, I'm just simply prompting it like you would do with any other ChatGPT, Gemini, any other Copilot, and it's going to give us those responses. Okay, it's pretty cool. I'm excited about it. I've been using it a ton. Hopefully everyone else can see how cool the application is. One last prompt here, and then I'm going to move to a different use case. So let's ask it, how can this contract be renewed or amended? It's going to give us a nice quick response here. I want to do something now. In the chat, think about a way that you'll use this in your daily life. If you could put some examples of those into the chat, that'd be really cool. I think it'd be really helpful for us to think about, yeah, I could see how this could, I'll just tell you how I'm going to use it. So, and how I do use it already. I've been using it for about a month now. So we do contracts ourselves at Concord. I'm in sales, so we have our standard terms of service. So when I send those terms of service out, they sometimes get redlined. People will come back with amendments or changes. And so I've been uploading those into Concord and then asking it to give me an analysis of those red lines, and let me know if there's any, risk that I should think about with those, et cetera. And so it's going to give me that first pass. Of course, then I'll take it on to our legal team and our compliance team. But it's going to just kind of give me the insights of like, okay, this is what they did. This is what I need to look out for.
Yeah. So we have some questions in the chat, maybe that I'll bring up to you, Zach, specifically about this functionality. And while you're answering them, we do want to encourage you, if you want to test out the prompts live, let us know if you have them. So, but real quick, you did cover this. Maybe I'll just answer this question just to make sure it's clear. Does it show you can this be used for an uploaded PDF versus a live document? Both, yes, right? All documents, the OCR will scan it and read it. Now, Zach, quick question for you, or maybe for Zainab. Does it show you where in the document the information was found?
It does not highlight in the document currently, no. That is
Okay.
something that we have flagged as a potential feature, but it's not something that it is doing today.
Okay. All right. We have an example.
I will add a bit of color to that. Depending on how you ask the question, if you ask for a summary, it'll usually just give you a quick summary. If you ask it, what are the payment terms, for example, it will often point you to the clause number. So some of it depends on how you ask it to answer the question. A summary will not necessarily point you to the provision, but if you really want it to point you to where in the contract it is, I have found that it will do that consistently for you. But please go ahead with the next question.
Yeah. Hey, Zach, we have an example prompt here. For example, could you ask it, yeah, there we go. Or another one maybe to type in as well is consent required to assign this contract to another company, is another one, right? This is absolutely something that the AI can pull, right? You guys are coming up with great examples. All right, we have another one for you. There we go. So Zach's putting that in the chat. Yeah. So I think this is a question here. Maybe I might turn it into a question that I can answer, right? But someone says, we'll use for contracts that we get and for amendments received later, right? So, right, some of you guys that receive amendments, I know a common workflow is you add attachments, right, in that paperclip that you see on the right-hand side. So the quick note, right, the AI Copilot will run on any of the files in the document view that Zach's showing. So what I like to recommend for those amendments and things are to use our linking feature. And so if you use that linking feature and you have individual files, the AI Copilot will run on all your documents.
Awesome. There's a lot more questions. We keep going through them. I think we've covered a lot of them. Can you compare two agreements? The answer to that is no. I mean, Concord in general, you can compare different versions of an agreement, but you couldn't. I think your question is, can you upload two completely different documents and then ask the AI to basically assess them and tell you what the differences are? Currently, the answer to that is no. However, we will talk later about something that we're working on that I think you'll be very excited about. So currently with this release, no, that's not something you can do right now. Can you draft an agreement from a prompt entirely? I guess you could. Zainab, I don't know. How would you take that?
Yeah, it should. Then I don't know if it's the best view since it can be if the contract is very long, it can be narrow. But you have the stretch panel so that you can make the panel bigger or not. So it depends. But
Should we try it?
basically it should.
Let's try it.
Yeah, but we have the bug now about the close, so I guess it's
That's true.
but you can try it. Yeah, we have identified the bug like since yesterday that it doesn't want to draft anything yet, but it's a beta, so we are enhancing it. So
yeah, so I'll ask a few questions and then
yeah.
So anyway, the answer is ultimately yes, you should be able
Yeah.
to. We have one bug that we're working out right now, but
Exactly.
yeah, that's something that you should be able to do.
And there is also a similar question about translation, if it is possible to make a translation of the contract. So the answer is yes too, it should. Then it depends on the language. So we are using Gemini for the AI. So if the language is supported by Gemini, then the translation should be possible.
It's a big document, so it might take a minute, but ultimately the answer is yes, it should be able to do that. So
Yeah,
as long
and
as the LLM can do it, it basically will do it, which it can. So yeah. Awesome, great question. So question here, are there any plans to have AI search your entire repository, search for all agreements and amendments within the party? The answer is yes. So just to kind of kill the lead on what we're about to talk about in a little bit, this is going to be moving to the entire platform. So we will talk more about that in just a minute. But as of right now, no, but that is where we're headed with the next version of this. And as you can see, it's translating into French right now, the whole contract. So there you go. You can probably take a minute for that to all run. What have we missed, Blake? Are there questions we've missed here?
Just really one, and maybe what we'll do is we'll take this one and then we'll move on. If I see any other questions, I can record them and maybe we get back to them later. But I think actually you mentioned this, right? Someone basically asked about comparing two versions, the one initially uploaded with the revised version, whether or not it has track changes. Basically, as it currently stands, no, we have other track changes tools for that, but specifically for your different versions, it's great feedback that we'll take, but as it currently stands, what it's doing now, no, it's not comparing like your two individual versions within your document. It's taking a look at what's on the screen.
Yeah, so basically the versioning, the track changes, the audit trails, the approvals, the signatures, all that's going to continue to work the same that it's always worked in Concord. So there's no changes to that. The Copilot is really just here for contract review, questions, stuff like that in the system. So all those things don't change. Nothing outside of that's going to happen here. So I'm realizing how long this contract is that I just switched into French. That's great. Another question from the net that came up. was asking about the reporting requirements that you're agreeing to, and I do want to hit on this real quick. I don't, just, did you have anything about the compliance in your slides? I can't remember. If not, I can just speak to it about AI compliance and security and all that stuff.
I did not include a slide on that. Go ahead and please.
Okay, I'll just talk through it real quick. So just for those of you that are kind of new to how we are working with AI here at Concord, we have what we call what is called a zero retention data policy with Gemini, which is the platform that we're using for this, powered by Google. What that means is basically we do not share your data with them other than for these responses. We also don't train any of our models using any of our customer data. So it's not like we're going to take your contract responses or your contracts themselves and say, hey, we could do better with this. Let's then go in and actually use this data to basically make ourselves better. We don't do any of that. We don't do that for data privacy reasons. All of you that are Concord customers have signed data privacy policies with us. Those are all still fully in effect. The only time we're using the AI with your documents is when you prompt it to do that, and we're not sharing that language or using it for any training. So hopefully that helps. We do have we actually have a number of documents that talk about that more specifically. So if anyone has additional questions on that or wants us to share those with them, we're happy to do that. So just let us know. Great question. So one more question here. Are you able to access the history of previously asked questions? Currently, the answer is no. Zainab, can you give us a view into what that might look like in the future? Are there any plans to allow for accessing the history of previously asked questions?
Yeah, so for now, they only have access, as Blake said, to the content that is displayed. For future enhancements, we might consider giving it access to previous versions, but it's not something that is that have been planned for now. But it's a good input, actually.
Absolutely. Another question, could we download the translated contract? The cool thing is I can actually copy this text. I can then jump into a new document in Concord just like this, and I could drop that text into my document. So there's your translated contract. So pretty cool. You can do that. You probably want to format it a little bit, but yeah, you can absolutely do that. I do want to show one other use case. It's very similar to what we've already been showing, and then we can kind of jump to the last step here. The other use case is just uploading a signed document, having the AI extract, etc. So to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and upload a document here. I'm going to do a single upload. We're just going to bring one in from outside the tool. So let's say that we had, back to that use case of, contracts already signed. I just simply want to upload this into Concord. As most of you know, we have our AI data extraction that runs initially. So the first step is OCR. Second step is AI data extraction. That's going to fill in the summary sheet data here with the relevant information, start dates, end dates, third parties, etc. And then now that new feature is the Copilot. So now I can come in here, ask the questions, and it's going to work just like it was working on the other screen. So that's the other use case I want to show. Another question here, is the AI capable of helping with document formatting, including elements like numbering and paragraph organization? The answer is currently no. That's something we are planning for the future, but as of right now, it is not a formatting. Formatting is not involved with the Copilot. Great. Anything else you want to add, Cheskino, Blake, Zainab, anything else on the actual demo use cases at all before we move on?
Yeah, maybe I can add the fact that for now, as you said, Zach, the main use case is really to read your contract and to give you insights, to answer all your questions about it. It's not capable to interact with the document, edit it, or make anything on the summary panel. But it's definitely an evolution that will come later. But the idea first is really to make you save time on summarizing your document, on looking for some specific informations, or drafting clauses that you can easily copy and paste, etc. So these are really the use cases that we have prioritized at first, but it doesn't mean that we'll stop there.
Absolutely. One thing I forgot to demo, which is probably the coolest part of this that I totally forgot, which is you can now extend the side panel in Concord for the first time ever. So if you didn't see that, you can grab and click it and then just pull it over. So you can actually make that side panel larger. And not only for the Copilot, you can now do that with all of our different views with the side panel, which is really, really cool. So if you didn't notice that before, it is available now. So something else that's nice. Um, Let's see. If you have, I think we kind of answered all that already about the custom fields. Basically, it won't interact with the document yet. So that the answer to that is no. For bulk upload, can we do multiple uploads instead of zip file? I'm not sure what you mean by that specifically. I mean, you can just do the zip folder, which allows you to do the bulk upload, like lots of documents at one time.
Yeah.
Blake, I don't know any other color there.
Yeah, I might have a thought. If we don't answer your question, just reach out to us at support@concord.app because we may be misunderstanding you. But to bring in documents in mass, right? You have the zip file, a bulk upload that Zach just showed you, but you can also like go open your file manager on another screen, select multiple files, and bring them into your Concord account. That's another way that you can sort of manage multiple documents at a time. I hope that's answering your question. If not, actually, the link that maybe was just posted in the chat is a good way also that you can just book time directly with us. But anyway, definitely that's a way that we can you can bring in your documents in bulk. I hope I answered that question, but let us know if not. Yep, and by the way, we will share the recording automatically with all of you guys that have attended, and anybody that even registered for this and wasn't able to make it, they'll get a recording as well, and then we'll even post it, right? So definitely we want to make sure that this is in your hands, and then if you have custom questions or personalized things, right, we have very many ways for you to reach out to us, all of which you can find in the chat.
All right. So tons of great questions. Love to see the enthusiasm. I will go ahead and we're almost at the half hour, so I'll just go ahead and let you know. Am I sharing my screen? Just want to be sure.
Not yet.
No.
Not yet. All right. Great. Needed to send a request. There we go. So love the questions, love the enthusiasm. We are very ready to give you live demos so you can see what you can do with AI Copilot. If you're already a customer and on an AI plan, you can open it up right now, start asking questions just like Zach did. It's very easy to interact with. If you're a customer and you are not yet on an AI plan, please just get in touch with us. We're happy to get you set up. And if you're not a customer, go ahead and scan this QR code right here on your screen, book a demo with us, and you'll get the opportunity to talk to Zach or Quincy, one of our amazing sales team, and again, see what you can do with it. Get started. We're very happy to talk to you. Very excited. And we have about a minute, so let's just take a quick look at what is going on next, Copilot. Well, actually, two things. One, we're happy to announce that we've launched an upgraded and improved DocuSign integration. So a couple big updates here. One, if you are currently storing a bunch of contracts in DocuSign and you're looking to upgrade to a full lifecycle CLM, say Concord, we have made that very easy for you. You can actually, instead of downloading all your contracts, uploading them separately, you can just sync to DocuSign, get them right into Concord right away, excuse me, and you're off to the races. Also, there's some cool features like the ability to track signature status directly in Concord, so you don't have to keep ping-ponging back and forth between platforms as you're managing the signature process. And in future,
Can I just one quick thing? If you are using DocuSign today, you need to get this integration. It is a massive improvement. It's like not even the same integration as before at all. We rebuilt the entire thing. So reach out about that. It's easy to turn on. We can set you up with it. It's a huge improvement. So let us know.
Agreed. Please be in touch. And we hinted at this a little bit, but AI Copilot, this is what it looks like today. It's already cool. It's already helpful. We are expanding it. Right now, you can access it in document view. Soon, you'll be able to access it across the platform, and that means you'll be able to see trends across your portfolio. You'll be able to start analyzing risk in cross-document analysis. So looking at what do multiple documents say about how many documents have force majeure clauses, right? What sorts of risks are you exposing yourself to your business to not just within this one agreement, but across your business deals, right? You'll be able to start seeing trends. It'll make reporting even easier. So there's a lot of really cool stuff coming, very powerful, very exciting, and very soon. So stay tuned for that. And with that said, we're a little over the half hour. So thank you to everyone who joined us today. Thank you, Blake, Zach, Zainab. You've all been very helpful. I learned a ton, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody follow up with us.